excited with how big of a bastard I am, but let me call him Deuce Chill. We are drinking from the Garden Hose, your favorite podcast about nothing. Get us wherever you get your podcast. Please give us 5-star reviews, like us, all that good stuff. Go to gardenhose.com. Gardenhose.vercel.com. Leave comments, join the conversation. Ed and I have been engaged in an amazing podcast for the last 6 minutes. And then just realized that we haven't been recording. So, Ed, I'm going to start this all over again. How the hell are you?
Obi, that
Don't
was
go
some
quiet.
of my best material, and no one's ever going to hear it. That was some of my best material. You did it again.
Oh, it was great. It was great. But listen, as
all right, I think I can recreate it though, Obi. But first, people need to know you screwed up.
yeah,
I had some gold for everybody. People, I mean, this I think was going to be the best episode probably in the last year.
I was going to put you in for an Emmy. Whatever the podcast and Emmys are, I was going to send this to that organization. You were on fire, Ed. No matter what happens, the rest of this episode, that moment in time is just my little gem to hold on to.
Well, I think what that moment is, Obi, for you is when everyone questions why the hell you do this with me, you have that gem to hang on to.
That's right. Why. Yeah, you. So, Ed, what were you talking about before I?
Here's what I was talking about, Obi. What I was explaining to you is getting old sucks, and the thing about it is everything hurts, and there's no manual. Like there's no book that I've read or I've seen. There's nothing that I trust. We don't talk about it, at least not the people I hang out with. I have no idea if everything's supposed to hurt or if I should go to the doctor, because everything hurts. My knees hurt, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts. You should see me try to stretch. One hamstring is almost as if it was somebody else's hamstring. It's so tight, but the other hamstring's a lot looser. I don't even know why that is. Not that it's loose, it's just looser, you know? And so my point that I was going on about before is I don't know if I'm a real train wreck, like a train wreck that needs to go to a doctor, or just a 50-year-old train wreck like the rest of us. I'm not really sure. So that's what I said, Obi. And then you had some pretty good wisdom too, which you probably
let me share it with you. If it's your right side, it's okay. If it's your left side, just think about, does it hurt more than your right side does when your right side hurts?
But I think that's only your left arm that it matters. If it's my knees, if my left knee hurts more than my right knee, that doesn't mean I'm having a heart attack.
No, it does not. It just means you need to go and get new knees. Which you have a job, you have insurance.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. So here's the other thing about getting old in this whole, like, what do you just deal with, right? So my knees, they are a problem. I've gone to a doctor. He tells me to go to physical therapy. I went to physical therapy for 6 freaking months. They still hurt. Had an MRI. I had a cortisone shot. They still freaking hurt. So at what point do you say, I'm just old and I'm going to have to live with it for the rest of my life? Or do I go to a different doctor? Like there's no book on this.
You got a cortisone shot and it still hurt.
Well, it got better after the cortisone shot, but then cortisone shot doesn't last forever. So do I just have to keep going back for cortisone shots all the time?
Yeah, that's what old people have to do, Ed. And if you have not had your first cortisone shots yet, they suck.
Well, that's an experience too. That's not like I really want to go do that either. That wasn't fun.
No. Listen. I was one of those kids who was afraid of needles, afraid of death. The reason I made it to my age without ink is no needles, no now. Give me my flu shot, whatever. And then once you get the cortisone shot, you sign up for flu shots like every day because they just stick that needle in there and they twist it and they're prying and pushing and you feel, mine was the shoulder, you feel the liquid going in your shoulder and they're like, oh, I missed it a little bit. They pull it out, they retwist your muscle and go in somewhere. The cortisone shot is an experience.
Really weird feeling, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing though. Like I still think I'm 20 years old and I shouldn't have to go to the doctor every 3 months. This is bullshit. Getting old. I shouldn't have to go to the doctor, damn it.
Listen. You heal one part of your body by hurting another part. That's all. And that's the joy of that's why we play with the swords, because somebody inevitably is going to hit you somewhere where you don't have padding and they'll give you a flesh wound, but it will hurt more than the actual injury you have in your left knee. You're like, oh, my right arm hurts. And you'll forget about your left knee for a couple of days.
Well, you are right. You are right. So when I go to the gym and I lift, my whole upper, of course I don't do legs because I'm a real man and I don't do legs. So of course my whole upper body hurts the next day, which is great because I don't feel my knees because my upper body hurts. Like, here's the other thing, Obi, like going to bed at night, I almost don't even look forward to going to bed because rolling over in the middle of the night hurts.
I don't move. I find a position that's going to work that night, and that's it. That's it. Because this doesn't hurt. I'm good to go. Like that's
Yeah, but
it.
then you wake up and you got to take a piss. So like
Multiple
shit.
pisses because you're over 50.
Yeah, and then you got to roll out of bed. Everything hurts. The knees wake up as you're walking. I mean, if you're not 50 and you're older than us, you're probably laughing at me because I don't know. I heard, what my PT guy said after like 6 months of it. He goes, sometimes it scars over and stops hurting. I'm rooting for scar tissue now. I'm at the age where I want scar tissue.
Now, the only thing I've ever been to PT for, it actually healed. That was I was lucky.
I've gone twice before, and both times it worked. Like, so I'm not like, I don't think PT's for quacks, but just what do you do when it doesn't work?
Listen, then you get titanium, man. Time to get the titanium knees with the rubber
my
tendons.
knee problem. Here's the thing: my knee problem isn't even like an arthritis thing. Like, it's not bone on bone. It's actually the kneecap is misaligned and the cartilage behind the knee. It's a screwed up thing. Anyway,
and then you go and you try to play basketball against a Division III athlete, and that doesn't work out well for you.
No, and Pete, no, it doesn't. And like I said earlier before you weren't recording, I said she goes one way, I go the other way, and my knee stays in the same spot, and it freaking hurts. And I think I'm gonna be like the ACL candidate or something. And then you look around and you see there's like dads at the playground with their little kids, like laughing at me. What they don't know is the same shit's gonna happen to them in 20 years. So laugh it up, buddy. Your daughter's gonna embarrass you too.
And this brings me to a new saying I thought of this week. The saying is youth is wasted on the young, and that's bullshit. No, because when you were young, you needed the perfect body because your energy level was way up here. But youth is wasted on the middle age. Like, you don't have time to be healthy when you're raising kids. So that's when your body should hurt. And when your kids leave the house, which you already have one out and you already see the amount of extra free time you have, and when the second one goes, like, that is really when you miss. You don't miss it when you're like 38 and running around with the kids and they're taking up all your time. It's when that you become the empty nester. And you're like, now I'd like to want my body back, just a little bit.
Yes,
just a tad. I mean, but we did bring up the video of.
I don't think we were recording when we brought up the video, though.
But we brought it up again, and I did have some questions about that because this is what I'm.
Tell everybody what you're talking about since they didn't hear it the first time since we weren't recording.
Well, Ed posted a video, I think on Facebook and on the Reels
and TikTok.
And the TikTok.
Full social.
Of him playing basketball against Sam, and Ed tries to do a move, and he looks old and decrepit, and then Sam does the same move, and Sam is obviously somebody who can play basketball. It was as different as probably Sam and Caitlin Clark. It was worlds apart. It was two different sports, if you will. So, as a boy dad, this is something boy dads have all unfortunately had to deal with, is you start off your wrestling with your kid and whatever, and at some point, even if you don't condone violence, you realize that the only thing you have to hold over your child is money because they could beat you up. Like, the time comes, and there's always that one last moment where you establish shit that I can take care of you, bam, but we done. No more physicality because you're getting close, and then the only thing I have to take away is you're going to be pouring on the street, and I don't care what your mama says. So that time's come with both of mine, and at this point, I still constrict the young one, but it won't be good for me afterwards. And that's what he keeps saying. Yeah, you'll win, but I'll be up and going a lot sooner than you will. So is that a win, Dad?
That's true. That's true.
It's like Rocky and Clubber Lang after the fight. I don't feel like I won. So there's that. But is that what that moment felt like for you? Like, well, Sam, don't forget, I still control the purse strings. Like, I know you can take me in basketball, but
No,
no.
no. See, I think, and I'm not accusing you of this, but there was a lot of people who commented on that video that as I say to my wife, they just don't get the joke.
No, you knew. Oh, no, I got the joke. I thought it was funny. You're like, the joke was you were bragging on her. And part of it. Like, you're like, look how
And
good
the
she is.
joke
And
is
I'm
I'm
nowhere
old.
near.
And the
Yeah,
joke is
I'm
I'm
old.
old.
Yeah, I got it. No, I got it. Listen, I got, maybe I interpreted slightly less. I didn't even think it was a joke so much as I'm old, but look at her. Like, she's good. Like I saw it as you pumping her up. I really did. Like, look, she's good. Like, I taught her everything she knows. It's all gone now, but she's good.
Yeah, Obi, that might have been you were actually onto something there. It's a joke. It's obviously a joke. I'm making fun of myself, but you're right. It was a way to brag about my kid without bragging about my kid.
Right. Yeah, that's what I took it for. Like, yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
there's some people who made comments and didn't get the joke. I think there's people out there right now who saw that, like didn't know me, are like, why would he put that out there? Like, why would he embarrass himself like that?
I thought it was great. Anyone who thought you were embarrassing yourself doesn't know how douche chill you are and that you're on this podcast. I mean, that's abundantly clear. They need to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, they need to understand that I don't really take a lot seriously. I
No,
could care less. I
no,
am part of the joke. That's what's so funny about it.
yeah, absolutely.
Because what you left out is we started the video by saying I was the master and she was the apprentice.
Yes,
Yeah, I was throwing up air balls and she was not. See, that's all part of the joke.
right. Ed, it was a good video. Anyone who thought that you were, yeah, I mean, yes, there are people who still haven't learned that their pride is not worth it, and they were the ones who were just like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Pride is overrated,
pride
especially when
is
everything hurts.
right. I mean, there's still things that you're good at, but you don't need to brag about those things. Those are
That's right.
coming up.
So, Obi, speaking of pride, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about today that got under my skin. And I guarantee our listeners are, well, I shouldn't guarantee anything because I think some of our listeners are like me. But I think there's going to be a lot of people who think I'm completely overreacting because my wife definitely. But I went to a bar on Saturday. They were having it was a beer garden. It's an outdoor, it's one of my favorite bars. It's an outdoor, it's got an outdoor area. They have some
Did
great
Did you get
craft
to
beer.
watch your Yankees at this bar?
No, I could have if I wanted to, but thank God I didn't because that's the game they lost 18-5 or some bullshit like that. But so
That's
I
a
did not
darn
watch
shame.
it. I was actually there was a live band playing, and they're playing some 90s punk like Green Day and things like that, Blink 182, and then there was a 80s rock band coming on after them. But anyway, it's cold. I left before. It doesn't even matter. None of that matters. The fact is, me and my wife were able to go out to a bar, right? Talking about that empty nester thing. We were able to go out to a bar without my kids. We left them home, told them we'll be back in a couple hours. We went to a bar. So we get to the bar, and I'm walking up, and there's a guy. A guy. He's the freaking bouncer, right? He's standing there, and he's got like his tactical vest on. Freaking bouncer. He's got a tactical vest on. He even had like an ankle like holster, not with a weapon in it. I don't even. Maybe he had a knife. I don't even know. Then later I saw he had a big ass knife on his. Like I don't know what he was prepared for, but this guy was prepared. Anyway, he says as I walk up, I say hi to him and I go to walk right by him because I'm freaking old. I don't know if this guy knew how much pain I was in as I was walking by him, and he says you got ID. So that was the first thing I'm a little annoyed about because it hurts to take stuff out of my pocket. So I got to take my ID out of it's just a hassle. When you're my age, I've earned the right to not have to be bothered. Anyway, I take it out. But then it goes one step further. He actually says to me, can you turn it to the back? And he takes his scanner and he scans the back of my ID. I go, are you checking to see if it's fake? He goes, yes. I said, yeah, that's what I'm doing, walking in with a fake ID. I didn't know he had the knife at the time. So smart ass me did not know he had the knife, but like, why is he checking? I'm offended that he's checking my ID for a fake ID.
So there's two conflicting, two of the same thoughts that I had, so to speak, when I heard this. My thought was they have to check everybody. But if they have to check everybody, why do they need a dude? They don't need anybody. You scan your ID, and if it's good, the light goes red, a green, and you can go in. If it's not, the light goes red, and the guy goes, "Don't come in." The island, your ID said no, don't come in.
So, Obi, I understand your point, but they trust this guy with a big ass knife on his waist working for them. They can't trust him to decide if I look 21 or not.
No, obviously not. He's carrying a knife to work at a bar that 50-year-olds go to. Like
Oh,
that's
and older.
an old person. Like this is an old person bar. I'm not the bar, the place that you and I end up at most of the time. Like sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'm the oldest person there, but it's usually an old person place, right? It's not a
Right.
place that a young person wants to sneak into. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing.
But I got another twist on the story, which is kind of funny. So anyway, my wife gets. I said to my wife, he thought we had fake IDs. Like, not actually. I take that back. I don't think he really thought we had fake IDs. I just think he was wasting everybody's time by scanning it. She goes, "Oh, I thought he was just keeping a head count." I go, "No, he's not keeping a head count. He's checking if we have fake IDs or not." But then the funny part about the whole part that's funny about that, and you just talked about it. Well, young people go there. So my daughter tells me after I tell her I got scanned for fake ID, I'm pissed. She goes, my friend, who I won't name, but my friend has lost two of her fake IDs there since she's been home from school. We're talking 3 weeks. She lost two IDs
at that location.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I went on a rant a while ago about fake IDs and about using your real name on a fake ID, and I don't understand why you would do that, right? I still don't understand it yet. I've since learned some very smart people actually make that mistake. So I don't know. Maybe it's a young thing. But here's what I don't understand, Obi. If you're going to a place that is checking 50-year-olds for fake IDs, when he asked, oh, by the way, he scanned my ID with me holding it. So if it went, I could have run, right? So it was in my hand the whole time. But if you go the first time and they scan your ID and go, oh, that's a fake, and they take it on you, why would you go back the second time with the fake? Like, why would you get two taken?
First of all, how did you get a second fake ID that quickly and think it was good? Like, here's my answer. You go back to the guy saying that one didn't work, and then it got taken in a week. I need another one, and for whatever reason, you're good enough to get another ID from this person, but now you believe that this one's going to work, and then you try again. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's more than a story. Like you got to give me one that works, and I'm going to get a third one. Like I'm going to keep going until it works.
Well, listen, there might be more to the story. All I know is somebody got two fake IDs taken from the same bar in 3 weeks' time. And as my wife says, and listen, my wife is a goody goody. She's not into like breaking the rules or anything. Like she never had a fake ID. Like she doesn't even know how the world works, right? With that, when it comes to that, right? And even she was smart to say, when you see the guy bring the scanner out, turn around and run. Like, yeah.
For the record, and not, you know what? I never had a fake ID either.
Yeah. Well, would you know run if the guy pulled the scanner out? No, but you probably would be like her. You didn't know what they were doing. She didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, listen, I used to go to bars that were renowned for not carding, but I digress.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So, Obi, so do you think I'm out of line by being pissed off that my ID got scanned for being fake?
I do not think you're out of line. I think it's ridiculous that they have a guy who is dressed like that if they're going to scan every ID. Like, either have a bouncer and trust him, or have a maitre d' and just have you can't come in till you scan your ID. Like one or the other. Like everyone gets carded here. That's just the rule. Okay. You don't need a tough guy then. You don't need a tough guy. You can get rid of the tough guy and put a classy individual. However, you who's listening to this is defining classy individual. You don't need a tough guy with a knife and a holster and wishes he had an open carry permit. You don't need that guy.
Yeah,
That
he had
guy's
a big knife. That was a
yeah,
big ass knife.
that's a guy for a different bar who gets to make that decision on his
That's
own.
that's for the remake of Roadhouse, the sequel of the remake of Roadhouse.
Right, right. Yeah, that's that guy. That's not for this bar.
All right.
That's
I can't wait to hear what people think about me getting ID'd, being pissed off about it, and then my ID getting scanned. So, Obi, you said you had some feedback from your bathroom talk.
yes. But before that, I had one other thing that I wanted to bring up, which I forgot, and then you said something, and I remembered it. The other day, I had to book a hotel, and they asked me for my address, and they asked me for my zip code first, and they filled it out.
Beautiful.
I was so fired up. I was fired up. And I had to tell everybody, A, the technology exists, and B, people are using it.
So the question is, why don't more people use that technology?
Why don't more people use that technology? Do you want my address?
It should be mandatory, right?
What?
It should be mandatory. Start with the zip code, fill it in.
Start with the zip code. That's what they did. They started the zip code, and there it was. My address.
I'll go a step further. If they
it was my street zip, and then they did the rest.
But I'll go a step further, Obi, with AI. Our owning our homes is public record. AI knows that, right? Like AI could just put our name in there and it could fill the rest out.
Yeah, and listen, if it's not public record in that way, I'm sure this company has had me there enough. Like you said, it's also for you. It's like, it's on my phone. Boom, boom. All right. So Ed, we had a bathroom conversation. We've had some feedback. Both of our brothers have chimed in along the way. But this weekend, I went to a sporting event, and there was a two-seater bathroom. That was it for about 300 guys. It was fairly empty most of the time. Most of the time we went there, and there was only one other person in there, which was impressively shocking given the size of the event. And it dawned on me as I was washing my hands every time, is a sporting event and made a necessary wash your hands in public situation. It's not work. Do you still judge the guy at the sporting event?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you go to the volleyball tournament. You're frustrated as hell. You almost don't buy a beer. You finally get a beer. You go to the bathroom. It's a streaming event. There's 8-10 stalls.
Wash your hands.
You wash your hands. Yeah. Everybody sees you. You wash your hands.
Yes.
Okay.
So Obi, there's another reason why you wash your hands. I might have said this last. It's not only so people don't judge you, but it's so that you don't get yourself sick. You know, you touch things. You're buying that beer. You're taking the money out of your pocket. You're shaking people's hands. You got germs on your hands. Just take the opportunity to wash your hands. It's not a big deal.
Okay. And this is a question on this hand washing situation. Some people I know do not wash their hands because they dab the lotion, the rubbing out the
sanitizer.
Yeah, but by your logic, and I agree with your logic here, by the way. Do that in the bathroom. Do that in the bathroom so that the public knows you did it, because people are going to judge you.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta act it. Here's one time I think you can probably get away with not washing your hands after using the bathroom. At a sporting event. I think if you're at a football game and it's freezing cold out and you're wearing gloves, I think that is a time you are exempted. You go to the bathroom and you put your gloves back on. I think you're safe.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because washing your hands, get them wet, and then drying them and trying to put your gloves back on, you're going to it's just a big mess. So I think in that case, convenience trumps judgment. You just go and do your thing, put your gloves back on, and go back to the game.
All right. Okay. Excellent. Well, I think we covered my stuff. We covered your video, which you brought up. We covered your knees. I can't wait till we get to the conversation about your post-knee surgery in about 3 years. When you got, and you tell me about the fake knees before I get fake knees. Very excited for that. Because for you know what, Ed, that's going to suck. Yeah. The charm is, that we suck. I'm old. That's it. Catch you next time on Drinking